Thank you. So thank you for attending this talk. So it's mainly about the real cost of the so-called free software, free as in free beer and not as in free speech. But and so what at the Eclipse Foundation we are doing to generate sustainable funding while maintaining our vendor neutrality. Because I will have a few words about the Adoptium project, the Eclipse Foundation, to explain a little bit and what kind of revenue model we can leverage to this end. So this talk was prepared by Carmen Delgado. Thanks to her, she was there last year. She could not make it today. Sorry, she's a full-time mom, some family issues, but no worries. You have me today. So I'm the open source services team lead at the Eclipse Foundation, and I'm working with Carmen to onboard new members, new sponsors. And what we do at the Eclipse Foundation, so she started a new initiative, the Adoptium, and so this is what I'm going to present you today. So I'm the open source services team lead at the Eclipse Foundation. My role is mainly to help our members engage with open source and engage in a good way. I'm also help participate in the OSPO Alliance, where I'm a maintainer and vice chair, mainly on the Good Governance Handbook and the communication part. And I don't know if there is some French people in the room, so I'm a board member of the Linux Affair website, and you can find me on some network. So do you know what is Adoptium? No? Nobody is in the room? Nobody is doing Java? So I will have a little context before going further. So as I told you, the Eclipse Foundation is exploring new ways to fund its project and other initiatives we have. And, free software is free once it has been paid for. And the Adoptium working group at Eclipse and the Adoptium project is open to new approaches, and the community of Adoptium is working on them. They can be considered as a spearhead, as a successful in the matter. And if there is a successful initiative, what we are doing at the Adoptium to get more funding is successful, we will try to replicate and duplicate what we've done to other projects we host at the Eclipse Foundation. But first, a quick overview, because everyone does not know what Adoptium is and the challenges that lies beneath. So I won't go into the details of the timeline you have in front of you, just this is not a history class. I just want you to remember to know that this is not a brand new project. This is a project with quite a long history. It started the beginning of the millennium, but maybe some of you remember the Adopt Open JDK project, where you could easily download Java runtime distribution depending on your platform and the version you want. It was established in 2017, and it was following years of discussion about the general lack of an open and reproducible builds to build and test system with OpenJDK across multiple platforms. So they started this project, OpenJDK. And then the Eclipse Adoptium project is the continuation of this original Adopt OpenJDK mission, and we took over in 2020. So now we've reached a nice milestone a couple of weeks ago. That's more than 500 million download. This is more than the population of the European Union, just to give you a comparison. So the Adoptium. So what is Adoptium? The mission of Adoptium, if I read it, just because I don't know by heart, Carmen is the specialist of Adoptium. This is to advance, promote, and support project structures around the Adoptium top-level project of the Eclipse Foundation. And they want to create and disseminate runtimes and associated technologies, including producing high-quality runtimes to be used across the Java ecosystem. Because the Eclipse Foundation is kind of a center of gravity together with the Apache Foundation, center of gravity of the Java ecosystem right now. So under the umbrella of Adoptium, what do we have? Because Adoptium is not just another Java runtime distribution. You can see that as a Java runtime distribution. So you have Eclipse Temurin that you see on your left. This is basically, like runtime binaries, high performance, enterprise ready, cross-platform, open source license, TCK tested, so they are compliant to the specifications. They can be used for general usage in the Java ecosystem. But the adoption project, this is called Temurin, and the adoption project is much more than that. The project includes developing, managing, promoting the technologies around these Java runtimes. We have the TCK testing infrastructure, so we need a big infrastructure to build and to test the deliverables to ensure compliance. We also provide migration toolkits. We also provide monitoring tools. We provide also installers, repositories, mechanism to manage the installation of the runtime depending on your environment, on your platform, containers image for those using Dockers or Podman, for example. So we have also website, artifact repositories, lots and lots of stuff around just a Java runtime distribution. So there is lots and lots going on, and we have quite good impressive numbers for some, for a project of this kind. We provide 58 build per release, and we have 6 releases per year. And we grew more than 20 build year over year since the last year. Since we did the presentation last year, we have now nearly 60 build per year. We've doubled the numbers of contributors. We've reached Salsa build level 3. Salsa is a security level for when you harden your platform for your integration platform. So this is quite a big project with large numbers, and the adoption project, we are getting many users. Why are we getting so many users, so big figures? Because we provide pre-built OpenJDK binaries that's free of charge. And they are TCK certified. So this is basically a drop-in replacement for the standard Oracle Java platform or the IBM one or every TCK certified platform. Just you can take it like that. It is Aquavit verified, what we call. We run more than 60 million tests per release. There is a long-term support of this. This is highly secure, highly performant, and we support all Java versions since the version 8. So every LTS long-term support version is available, is tested, and can run on many platforms, all the platforms you see over there. So this is why we are so popular, and this is such a big project. I will go a bit, so I told you a little bit about this Aquavit project, which is a project so to test and to make sure that you have good quality releases. We have an open source test suite that's come from the Java ecosystem. We have members that come that say, okay, I don't want to, for example, do my test after the release and then make sure it fits my environment, my native environment. I want the test to be run before the release. So that when there is a new Java release, a Temurin release, I'm sure that all my tests were passed before it was packaged and released. So we have, like this, we have more and more use cases and more tests that we have, and we have a dedicated tool for that. As I said, we have the most secure supply chain for Java runtime environment. We have the highest level of build trust for Linux, macOS, and Windows. The other platforms are just level 2, but we are working on increasing the level. We are supported by, so we have a couple of strategic members. We have also enterprise and participants, and sometimes sponsors. So we have also sponsors, financial sponsors, and in-kind sponsors. They give us cloud credits, sometimes non-profit services. They give us FTEs, like full-time equivalent, people working on it, on the platform, giving us, not paying money, but giving time of their engineering time. So this is the people on the top, from strategic to participant. This is people really participating in producing the deliverable of this project. The sponsors, they are giving in-kind sponsorship or money. But we have many more participants. This is just the people saying, yes, we are using this Eclipse Temurin, we are using your project, thank you for that, and we are producers of that. But we have needs sometimes. So this is what I just demonstrated, that's very large project, used by a lot of people, like large companies, but we have also large needs. Because Adoptium is not a simple and straightforward project. It's a rather complex one sometimes, with a lot of challenges, and it takes time and effort to grow the community of contributors on one side, and of members on the other side. You know, when you want to, the first step is to onboard other contributor. For example, you need and we start that with Google Submitter of Code that you know, internship, paid internship by the members, or people just saying good first issue, stuff like that. Same thing to onboard a new member. Sometimes when it's large corporate companies, you need to talk with sales management, sometimes the legal department. It's sometimes complicated for us to understand the process, for them to understand our processes or how to become a member and how to support this kind of project. Then, on the contributor path, how they make the first contribution, you know, to understand how the Eclipse community works, how this project works, and how I can make my first contribution, because the Eclipse is working on 4 pillars, which are the openness, transparency, meritocracy, and vendor neutrality. So they need to first to understand the Eclipse way of doing things, and then to understand the project way of doing things, how they are working. Usually the members, when they become a member, they need to observe a little bit how it's working, because we have a technical committee, an architecture committee, a steering committee. Yes, there is a kind of complex governance. And then finally, when we want to have, you know, like they can become an active member, an active contributor, an active committer on the project, but it takes time. So growing the community by itself is a challenge, and you need to produce documentation, you need to produce a lot of stuff to involve more people and more members. There is also the cost issue that we have. So as I said before, we are producing nearly 60 builds per release, 6 releases per year. We have more than 500 million, half a billion of downloads currently accumulated. And that's now, I think, 20 million per month, the current rate. So we have more and more downloads, so we need more and more resources. But this is only the visible part. After that, as I told you also before, you remember that we are providing more artifacts like open source infrastructure as code, a comprehensive continuous integration build, a test farm, many servers, quality assurance tests. We are also using AI for the test, so an AI infrastructure to help us generate and run the test. We need an elastic compute capacity. So that's lots and lots of stuff. So we try also to optimize this infrastructure, everything we can optimize, we try to do it, and we need to do it. Because, as I told you before, we still have also the current allocation of the financial support. You have it in front of you, so the split. What I want here to highlight is that if we want this project to have a sustainable growth, we need to have a budget by four times what we have currently. Why we need this kind of 4 times the budget? Because the rising cloud cost, directly impacts the capacity, the ability to maintain an extensive testing and release cycles. We need to enhance the security. The software is more and more regulated. Maybe you've heard this morning about the Cyber Resilience Act, all the regulations that are coming. So we need to secure the development efforts. We need to encompass software, bill of materials. We need to strengthen the builds with SALSA. I explained the SALSA framework, which is a specification how to secure your supply chain. We need to do security audits, vulnerability reports. So on the security, there is more and more means we need to put on this project. Also for quality testing, we want to maintain and optimize the testing infrastructure for all the platforms we've seen before, all the versions. And we still want the releases to be high quality. We want faster release cycles, we want to ensure published feature and that we are keeping up to date with the Java specification, because the Java is releasing, there is the long time support versions, but we have also in-between versions, new versions, that we also deliver, distribute. So, excuse me. We want ready-to-deploy builds, because it's nice to have binary, but if it's hard to deploy, it's going to be complicated for the adoption. So we want that the Java version we put at your disposal, you can deploy it on Windows, on Solaris, on AIX, on every OS you can think of right now. And we also need that to the community development and engagement, we also need to have in-person events to communicate, to support the growth of the community, to do some marketing, to promote the project. So that's why we need more financial support on this project. So we have, as I told you, lots and lots of users, lots and lots of downloads, but lots of users are not supporting the project currently. We need to be inventive to adapt. So right now we need to convert the technical and strategic users and key players into members. Like you've seen, we've got Google, Red Hat, Azul, for example, have members. Alibaba, this is people that are, their business relies on Adoptium, on what we are producing. The members of the working group are producing. But so we have also people using this in their, in their cloud, in their offer. So we want them to convert up as a member and to contribute back. And sometimes we also want them to give, if they have a testing suite, or they want to add tests, to include those tests to become a member, so they'll be able to include their own test inside the project. Sorry. Then we also have the users, because we have many, many users. The end users, they are using more and more Temurin, because we have, they are using Temurin because there is a political changes, sometimes financial changes in other software vendors offers. They are raising the prices, they are changing their policy, and then so they are switching to an open source alternative, and a good one. Eclipse Temurin is a good open source alternative, but they say, okay, that's free, that's good, that's secure, that's the right performance for me, let's use it. But we want to convert those users to financial supporters. And that's a big challenge right now. I don't know if you remember the list of the users. There were big companies like Michelin, Société Générale, and so on, big, large companies that are using it, but sometimes not giving back into money. So we want to convert them as supporters. And then we also want to convert service providers into sometimes in-kind sponsors. Like we want them, for example, to give credit for cloud credits or stuff like that. So this is to convert all the users into supporters. This is a journey that we need to, and we need to adapt to audience. We can't have the same speech when we are talking to technical users and when we are talking to end users. So we need to send the right message at the right person. So for that, I will go quickly on the Eclipse Foundation, how it's working. So the Eclipse Foundation has been there for more than 20 years. As I said before, we are one of the biggest open source foundation. We are based in Europe. We host more than 450 projects. And we have, like, in an open way, transparent, vendor neutral way, and based on meritocracy. We have a strong governance model. We have a proven sustainability of the project we nurture. So the company are becoming a member for them because we provide more services than just a technical platform to collaborate. We provide services, legal services, IP services. We provide the community services like marketing, community development, and so on. So we also provide working groups. Working groups is like a foundation into a foundation. And when inside your working groups, then you can choose also the involvement you want to participate. So this is currently when you want to be part of the Adoptium working group, the membership, the different membership levels, and the fees associated with the membership level, and what you get in compensation. But that's good for technical user wanted to participate, to actively contribute in a project, what they get when they are a member of the Adoptium working group. They can be, when you're strategic, you have a board, you have a seat at the board. Then, if not, you are elected. So, depends on how much you pay. It's quite easy to become a member, but you just become an Eclipse Foundation member. You join the working group, and then you participate. In the meantime, you have given a bit of money each year, but as we've seen. But sponsors, what we are doing right now is creating a sponsorship initiative, which will be released early next quarter, Q2 2025. And this is for people and for companies that are users that do not understand the open source foundation, or they do not want to get involved in the governance. They just understand that they are using a critical IT component in their system, in their infrastructure, and they want to ensure their sustainability. They just want to help to have a kind of sponsorship program. They don't want to become a member of the foundation, to be part of the governance, and so on. So for them, we have created a sponsorship program. So they will be able to, enhance the security, to sustain innovation, give us a more robust infrastructure. And so this is what it's going to look like in a couple of months. We've designed something like something a bit like the membership, but that's not membership, that's sponsorship. And for that, we need to give value to the users. Say, okay, I'm paying that much, so to keep the lights on and to keep so you will be able to produce the build. But what do I get for my money? And that's sometimes what you often heard when you have people in front of you. Usually the procurement department. You need to put them. So just like any sponsorship, you can have your logo, the size of your logo. But then we are giving them more and more information. I don't know if I've just opened. Yes. Is it working? Yes. You have here a little preview of the website. We are going to, where is the mouse? Yes, so this is the future website of the Eclipse Adoptium with the added sponsorship. So the deliverables, the assets of the working group, what you get when you support us, the key initiative, what you can help us do, a small a calculator to help you show that if you abandon what you are paying how much you are paying right now, if you sponsor the Eclipse Temurin, what you will get and for how much money, and how much you will save by using how much you save by using Temurin, and the different levels you've seen before, diamond, platinum, gold, silver, and bronze, and so on, and for example, and the future logo of the people backing and the sponsorship that we've seen is not only financial sponsorship, but also, let me go back. And how do I get my presentation back? I need to go up. No.
I think here.
Thank you. And okay, so yes, there will be more than just financial support. We will also take into account in-kind contributions. So we'll have some equivalent, and for some in-kind contributions, like cloud credits, for example, you will be able to get a certain level of sponsorship. So a few lessons learned, and I think I'm nearly finished. That's the last slides. Perfect, 2 minutes. So first, you need to communicate clear needs and to adapt your speech to the people you have in front of you. If they are end users and don't want to care, they do not care about open source, they just care about having free software, as in free beer, not as in free speech. If they want to have that, okay, that's fine, but please help us keep the light on and the machine running. So you need then to target the message depending on the profile. And you need to add value to the proposition, a clear value, what they will get and what you need, because they say, okay, it's already free of charge, I can already have it, why pay? And you need to focus also a lot on project sustainability. This is what we heard. You say, okay, this project, you're going to invest a lot, you're going to have your this is going to be a critical asset in your IT infrastructure. So please help us sustain this project and do not make the mistake of just saying that's free and that will last forever. And if we have time for questions, thank you for your time. And again, for questions, if there is a specific question about Adoptium, I don't have all the numbers because this is not my day-to-day job, but onboarding new members and new people into the sponsorship program will be part of my is part of my day-to-day job, so feel free to ask. Thank you.